What's up, everybody? This is Whisky in the Six. I'm Rob, doing a little Kilkerran rundown over here. I didn't include the peated version, the heavily peated version, just because I wanted to keep it to these ones, and the heavily peated is not for everybody, I don't think. It's good, very youthful tasting, but not in the caliber of these three, in my opinion. It will get better. It's peat in progress, as it says right on the bottle. But today we're just going to focus on the 12, which is 46%, the 16, which is 46%, and the newest Kilkerran Sherry 8-year-old, which is 58.1%. The last 3 years, these have been heavily sherried, and last year's was pretty sulfured in my opinion. The year before was the one that everybody really loved. So this is the 2022. This 16 is 2021, and this 12 is 2021. Okay, so I'm sure they'll be coming out with new versions of the 12 and the 16 very shortly, but this is what we have for today. The 12. Okay, so definitely some Campbelltown funk on the nose. There is a good amount of peat, lots of honey. Based on the color, I'm assuming this is majority bourbon cask aged. I think I would guess somewhere between 80-20 ratio. There's a little bit of sherry cask influence in this. Could be 70-30, and it could be refill sherry as well. That's why the color is so light, but mostly bourbon cask, I think. Very nice on the nose. This has had quite a bit to open up. This is going for about $90 at the LCBO, which I think is a great price. You can get it for a little bit less in Alberta, but not much less. Beautiful nose here, especially for the Campbelltown fan. On the palate, yeah, really nice. This has opened up quite a bit from when I first bought it. Really sweet on the palate, lots of honey. Campbelltown funk for sure. A little bit of peat, some grassy notes, lots of sweetness. The finish is long, the finish is sweet as well. That's really nice. Yeah, I really like that. I'm gonna give this one an 88. It's one of the ones that you always should have on your bar if you're a Campbelltown fan. It's pretty easy to get. It's one of the few Campbelltown bottles left that are relatively easy to get. Hopefully that doesn't change, but I have a feeling it just might. Really good stuff. Comparable to the Springbank 10-year-old if you're looking for a direct comparison. I think this version here is better than some of the Springbank 10s that I've tried, and probably the best Kilkerran 12 I've tried so far. Moving over here to the Kilkerran 16. Again, a combination of bourbon and probably refill sherry casks, but leaning more towards the bourbon casks, I believe. It doesn't say it on the bottle, but you can get that information on Whiskey Base if you want. This one's different on the nose than the 12. Less sweetness for sure. And this one's been open for probably even longer. Less grassy and less Campbelltown. So a little bit more muted than the 12 on the nose. You do get some grassy notes. Very faint peat, if any at all. Very light. On the palate, okay, again, more subtle. You can tell it's older for sure. It's more ironed out, a little bit less heat. But at 46%, you're not gonna get a lot of heat from either of these. All of these are unchill filtered, no added color. If you don't know that, now you know. It says it right on the bottle. Yeah, so if you're looking for something a little bit more subtle, a little bit less fight, a little bit less energy, that's the 16. Compared side by side with the 12, it's not doing very well in my opinion. It's more money, not that much more money. It's still very well priced at around like $140, $150, maybe less, depending on where you buy it. But if you're looking for the better buy, it's definitely the 12. I'm gonna give this one an 85 to an 86. Good. Would I buy it again? Probably, just to see if there's any changes to how they do it, because Kilkerran, a lot like its owner company, Springbank, changes their releases all the time. They're changing the combinations of barrels. It's always a unique whiskey, even when you compare from like 2021 to 2022. So I'll probably buy this again, but for now, this one's, like I said, around an 86. Going over here to the new Kilkerran 8-year-old cask strength, like I said, 58.1%, super dark, combination of probably fresh and refill sherry barrels. I believe that there was only 8,000 of these. I could be wrong. There's also a port cask available, or a port aged version available. All right, so what I love about this off the hop is that it doesn't have the sulfur notes that last year's version had, or the year, I think it was last year's version, the 2021. You can tell it's a sherry beast. You're getting a lot of that like dark chocolate on the nose, a little bit of peat, and a little bit of Campbelltown funk. So far as funk goes, the 12 wins, if that's what you're looking for. This is a little less funky. Very reminiscent of more the Glenallachie 13 North Star that I've had recently, as opposed to the first heavily charred, I think it was heavily charred actually, or recharred sherry cask Kilkerran 8 that came out and was crazy sought after. Really nice nozzle. Keep in mind, this is a fresh crack, so this will get better, I guarantee it. Very good signs that it's not sulfured at all compared to its predecessor from last year. Definitely a lot of sherry on this. A little less Campbelltown funk, but like I said, that could open up and get a lot more funky as oxygen gets into the bottle, right? On the palate, yeah, so the palate's the star here. Really nice palate here. Subtle peat, subtle Campbelltown funk, but it's there. And then sweetness, dark chocolate, even some milk chocolate. Definitely a sherry bomb. I really like that actually. Yeah, that's really good. Everything you want in a Kilkerran 8 sherry, in my opinion. It will get better, I can guarantee that. I'm gonna base the mark on what I'm tasting right now, which is still very, very good. And I'm gonna give that an 88. The retail value on these has gone up. It's about $130 to $160, depending on where you get it. All right, that's Canadian dollars. I paid $225 for this bottle because I bought it secondary off a friend that was willing to, you know, do the work. That's including shipping. So I thought it was a great deal, and I'm happy I made that purchase for $225. Would I buy another bottle at $225? Yeah, probably one more bottle at $225. I wouldn't go crazy trying to like hunt it down, but if it was offered to me, I probably would grab another one. But if you can get it at $150, that's a buy all day for sure. That's a great bottle. 88, like I said, and that will probably go up in the next few months as I work the bottle down a little bit. As you can see behind me, the bottles are stacking up, and it's difficult to get to stuff, but in a lot of ways it's a good thing because I take a few drams out of each bottle and then they have a good amount of time to open up, which is helping with reviews. So as you can see, this 12-year-old probably benefited from that. Not so much the 16 because there wasn't, I guess, much room for opening up, I guess. I'm not sure what happened there, but I bet that the 8 is gonna get better. That's it for me, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you really like the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and you can support this channel on Patreon. Cheers.